Hello, my name is Jim. I am the singing day trader. Today I want to discuss one of the indicators that I use, and this is what I call the TTM John Carter study setup that I use on a daily basis. I also am a master of 12 years of finding supports, pivot points, and resistance, which I call my extended trend line pattern. Those are indicated in the red lines right here with the prices. We have like you call support, first support, pivot point, and then my resistances that follow up. Also have the volume bar. I have the RSI set up, which is another indicator that I use on the TTM trend. And I have the TTM Squeeze set up right here, and I use the awesome oscillator down below it. So the TTM Squeeze. What is John Carter's squeeze indicator? The squeeze is made up of three different indicators: the Bollinger Bands, the Kettner channels, and an oscillator. All markets move between quiet periods and volatile periods. You want to be positioned during the quiet times to take advantage of the volatility or simply put, movement in price. How does the squeeze work? The squeeze indicator attempts to identify periods of consolidation in the market. In general, the market is either in a quiet period, consolidation, or a vertical price discovery. By identifying these calm periods, we have a better opportunity of getting into trades at a potential for larger moves. Once the market enters into a squeeze, we watch the overall market momentum to help forecast the market direction and await the release of the market energy. What is the squeeze terminology? The red and green dots along the zero line indicate that there is a squeeze. The red dot means there is a squeeze condition in effect. The green dots mean there is not currently in a squeeze. The first green dot after one or more red dots is where the squeeze is said to have fired. The red and blue histogram indicates momentum. If above the zero momentum is increasing, the histogram will light up light blue, and if zero momentum is decreasing, it will light up dark blue. Inversely, the histogram will paint yellow and red to portray decreasing or increasing momentum below the zero line. So we're talking about the green, the red dots, the light blue to the dark blue, and then we have the red into the yellow, which is increasing momentum. And this chart, this is in the Toss Thinkorswim platform, which I love, has many tools that a person can use. Might cost just a little bit more, but it's well worth it. I'm looking at JNUG right now. It's a stock that I often flip when I'm in my support levels off my extended trend lines. Now, when you have the Kettner channel and you have the Bollinger Bands, it gets a little clustered up, and I like to trade with the candles. I also have my extended trend line. This is on a yearly chart. So I like to take them off and get a better view of what I'm looking at. Then I'm going to bring it down to a 5-day chart with my extended trend lines. These white arrows indicate what I call the Scalper Tool. Going up means it's time to get in, going down means it's time to sell. But I'm also looking at the market conditions, which I can see on the tape that I provide here, and I also can add my level 2 and what news is coming out that day on that certain stock. So I want to take these off right now. We're just going to talk about the TTM Squeeze. So these are indicators for a Scalper Tool. I have my extended trend lines, and this is a chart which is in red, and blue is my TTM trend setup. So I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to bring this up a little bit, and we're going to talk about the TTM Squeeze. And I wait, and I follow the red line as it goes up, and I'm looking. And also I have the Awesome Oscillator down here below. The Awesome Oscillator is an indicator used to measure market momentum. Calculates the difference of a 30-day period and a 5-day period simple moving average, SMA. The SMA that are used are not calculated using closing price, but rather each bar's midpoint. So I like to keep that on here. It helps me define a little bit more of an exit and entry point of a stock. So now the TTM Squeeze, how I work it is I follow the green dots and I follow the momentum. We noticed we had a nice little sell-off here, and then all of a sudden we broke into a squeeze. And during that squeeze, we had a little bounce. See, it started bouncing before the dots even came, so I didn't get into that trade. But now, as we go over here and we look post-market and pre-market, we had a sell-off. During that period, it was a real good sell-off, and we entered into a squeeze. So I'm watching it as the day proceeds. I'm getting very interested. We had a little fake out, but still yet, we didn't break that squeeze. And when I see that first dot come out, and I indicate that I'm having this blue momentum, I'm going to get in this stock. And then once I hit the top of it, that'll be my indicator. We had a double top. That'll be my indicator to sell. And notice as it starts getting in dark blue, we get down below the line, we had a major sell-off. And that was into close. Now after hours, I would have probably got back in it because we started another squeeze. And I'd have rode it all the way up to my level of my pivot point that I have on my extended trend lines that I have mastered in over a 12-year period. And I draw these up on candlesticks, and this can go back to a whole year. Let's just change the time frame on this to a year. And these are all drawn up on extended trend lines, and I can magnify this and get a better view of it. So as I go back to my 5-day period, well, that's 3 month. Let's change this period back to, that's a 1 day. I can use it also in a 1-day chart. I can use it in a 5-day, 15-minute. Now I have this set up, this is JNUG, to where if we start to enter into a TTM squeeze or a TTM trend, it'll tell me if it's bullish or bearish. And you can see that on my main page in my message center on TOS. And I can go from like CGIX, just entered a squeeze. It told me that we are in a bearish trend right now. Notice it's below my yearly pivot point or support level right here. And I could draw me another trend line, and I could create maybe around 95 would be an entry for me to get in. So I'm going to draw that, and I'm going to set me an alert. It means I saw this right now. I'm going to go ahead and set this alert. Prepare myself for maybe an entry on this stock right here, which is CGIX. But I also want to check the news and stuff. So back to JNUG. And here I am. So we're looking at the TTM squeeze setup. We got in here at this level right here. We would have sold off and waited for that squeeze to happen. Once the squeeze broke out into the green dots, we had an indication that it was going to go up. So with the market conditions and where I'm sitting on my support level and my pivot point, I would have probably went ahead and entered it and sold right at my pivot point, which came off of my extended trend lines. Now these extended trend lines will keep going out to the next day, and they'll keep following the next day. past 5 days we've been in this little channel right here, so I've been able to flip it from 1425 to 1459 all week long, and that would have been a trade every day, flip after flip. Maybe not, and this day here we had a breakout, so you know I would have got in at 1425 and the thing just kept going on up, and I would have sold it right here at this level, which was my Scalper Tool of the TTM trend. So basically that's how I use the TTM Squeeze. I use it on a yearly, and I can magnify that up to different days, different periods, and I just follow the trend. And once I break out into the squeeze, which we had a little fake out right here and we went down, but right when we pepped, so I'm waiting for the right opportunity to get into this stock. And again, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. You can follow me on StockTwits and Twitter, where I post my alerts and my charts on a daily basis of what stocks I'm looking at. And I want to wish everybody a happy day, and keep it simple, keep it clean, and keep it fresh. It's the best way to trade. And also, have patience. That's my #1 tool. Have a great day.